bellow on the bellow on the bellow. Bellow on the bellow on the bellow.
Yeah, the real shop talk. Just come and take a listen. Some grown men with unbiased and honest opinions, and with no agendas, so you just gotta check it. Talking love and life from a male perspective. We keep it authentic, real, no filter. Leave a comment, be part of the show. We here to give you 5 gentlemen's views about manhood, no doubt. This the show you've been needing, yeah, it's the real shop talk. Let's go.
Hey, everybody, we are back. We back. It's the real shop talk. I know y'all noticed a little something different. We have, out of the 5 gentlemen, we got 3 tonight. Tony Massey, Tony Watts, the 2 Tonys are out. If we had the 3rd Tony, you know what it would be. Tony.
I'm a Tony.
Yeah, my daughter tell me my jokes suck, but I don't believe her. Yeah, I know, John. I tried it, man. Welcome back, everybody. It's Thanksgiving week. The real shop talk. We here. 5 gentlemen, no agendas, but with a single purpose and a single mission to build community, to give the insights of real men, real vulnerability, real stories. The manosphere is out here. We're just giving some balance to the universe here, and we have fun. We get deep sometimes, and we give you a mix, just like any other human being. We give you a little bit of everything. So today is our monthly trending topic show. So we scour these internet streets and find some interesting things to kind of talk to and react to. So we got some videos tonight, a couple of topics to talk about. So we just gonna have fun like we always do. We're gonna introduce ourselves, and then we're gonna get right into it. My name is Derek Jones, and I'm a certified relationship and life coach, and also the host of the Relationship Gumbo podcast every Wednesday at 8 p.m. And I'm excited about this. We about to laugh a little bit. I got some things for you, so I'm gonna move it over to my man John Singletary.
Hey, I'm John Singletary, the host of the Help Myself podcast. Hopefully my jokes are better than that first one that Derek popped up. That was pretty bad, man. We can't be representing like it. That was bad, bro.
I own my bad jokes, man. I try.
Yeah, let's kick it down to Gunner Man.
Hey, what's up, guys? What's going on? I am Gunter Man. I am the host of the Gunter Man Show. I, too, am a relationship life coach. I'm looking forward to this because I have no clue what these guys pulled up for this week. So you're hearing from me, knee jerk. Also, I'm on my phone, so I can't exactly chat with you guys. So all the comments, of course, maybe the guys above will read them to me so I can respond to anything you guys have to say directly to me. Love you guys. Appreciate you showing up. We really do appreciate it. Please take time out to hit like and subscribe to us. Join us. Be a part of this family. Please tell your friends. I hope some of these shows are so amazing. I hope you're sharing it out with your friends so we could mess with those what's the rhythms? Algorithms. That's right. So we can get these numbers up. Because I think the stuff that we're talking about is so relative. It's so needed in this daytime and hour. So let's go.
Yeah, and Alicia in the comments is agreeing that my jokes suck. It's okay though.
No, she's agreeing that you own.
I do own them though.
Yeah,
somebody gotta have the bad joke.
Don't be out here misquoting your wife. Come on now.
So this first video, I believe, it's more of a PSA. Anybody who's, it's Thanksgiving week, if you're cooking turkey, if you're one of those type of people that do it by yourself, this is just a little gentle, PSA, just specifically for Turkey Week. So here it goes.
Please stop serving that bone dry turkey.
Yes, please.
Go to the place and get a turkey that has already been made. I'm talking about serving that kind of turkey that you got to soaking gravy for 15 minutes before you can even doggone swallow it.
Yes, no, you don't want none of that. That's like cardboard.
Mess around and cut up your esophagus. Going to the hospital on Thanksgiving Day. What's the matter? Dry turkey.
That's around
All I got to say to that is Popeye's fried chicken is
absolutely
seasoning the turkey. You should stop
That's right.
by and pick one of those bad boys up.
Yeah, we got one. We got our Popeye's turkey early. Yeah, man. I saw that and I was like, I'm gonna throw that in there. I know it has zero to do with the topic, but you know, we're gonna touch on some things that's a little slightly more serious, but we not gonna go super deep this week. So here's the first video. This one is a little lighter too. We gonna dive in slowly this time. So this is a guy whose name that I hate to call sometimes, but I thought that this was interesting, and then we'll comment on it afterwards. So this is kind of like well, you'll see what it is. Hold on one second. Here it comes.
First of all, you're definitely a single woman because you got the single woman tell. That damn smoke detector.
Mm-hmm.
How do you live with that?
The way that I've been living with just being a single woman is
No. Specifically, the smoke detector that keeps chirping. How do you live with that?
Can you just elaborate more on like what do you mean by the smoke detector?
It keeps going beep.
Like red flags?
That smoke detector that's beeping in the background. There's a smoke detector. It beeps every 30 seconds and it goes beep.
I don't hear anything beeping. Did you just hear it again? Because I don't hear anything.
Wait for it. Told you guys they don't hear it after a while. There it was.
So here's the question on the floor. Is a smoke detector that need a battery a tell that a woman is single? Because her man would normally be the one to replace it.
No, it is not. I mean, because I've heard dudes with it.
Oh, absolutely.
I can't tolerate it. Like me, I can't. Like when I hear other people, like I've heard some podcasts and they had it going on. I'm like, this topic might be good, but I'm gonna have to tap out because I can't deal with the smoke detector.
Yeah, it's when he said after a while they stopped hearing it, I was like, that's so true. It's like a part of the house after a while. I think I've been guilty a couple times, but yeah, I've seen a lot of, just looking at these videos, it's a lot of single women that I ain't gonna lie. That's probably where it gets it from, but I don't think that's I don't think you could quantify that and just say, if there's a smoke detector, you can almost going off that you can almost guarantee that she don't have a man. Any comments, Gunter Man, before we go into the real stuff?
It's amazing how there's so many things in life that tell stories about you.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just doesn't register until someone like brings it up and you're like, oh yeah, I guess, yeah, because that smoke detector noise, if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock, I gotta wake up and go change that battery immediately. When that goes off, I can't function. There's no way I can sleep through it. No way. So if it's gonna be a tell for a woman, heck, there's so many things that speaks truths about us that we don't even fully recognize. And hey, that could be one for a woman. That could be one. Definitely.
I'm gonna read a couple comments and then we're gonna go to some more serious topics. Joe D. Vid says, I have a smoke detector going off right now. Love Tucker says, that's stupid. Just change it during daylight saving time. And Tashura says, change the battery, kill the spiders, and take out the garbage. That's the man job. So
why are we gonna wait till April and May to change it? Change it now. Why don't we wait till daylight savings time?
I think she might have meant during the daytime. I don't know if she meant
daylight. No. That's the typical rule of thumb back in the days. Daylight savings time, you automatically change your batteries and your smoke detectors. That was the same. Well, that's how it was in New York. So
I never heard that before.
Yeah, y'all changed it in April?
Whatever the 2 daylight savings, you just change it so you don't ever run into this beep thing.
That's interesting.
Now that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That makes good sense.
Hell yeah. Automatically when it drops, you know what to do.
So
Love Tucker, mine does not go off. Thank you very much, because I call maintenance immediately.
So we're gonna roll right into the next let me see if there's
Yeah, remember, I can't read the comments. I can't jump in.
Yeah. Kelly Willett says proactivity. Yeah, you gotta, do it. Try to be proactive about changing it when it's not beeping, so you don't have to worry about it. So
what's up, Kelly? What's up, Kelly? I appreciate you chiming in.
So we're gonna go right into
her at the Black Girl Vote show. Baltimore.
Cool. Welcome to the show. Welcome everybody. Make sure you're sharing this out. Make sure that you're subscribing and liking, hitting that thumb if you like the content so far. Now we're about to get into some more serious questions here. So stand by for the next video that we're gonna react to. Stand by.
Ladies, he don't want to be in your friends. He don't want to be your friend, ma'am. I'm working on myself. I get it. I understand. He don't want to be there. He ain't trying to be there. He trying to be somewhere else. You're going to hold on to him. Keep him with you until you're ready. That's unfair. That's selfish. I'm just saying. I understand if you're trying to find yourself. I understand if you're trying to live for you. I get that. You need to let that man go on about his business because he ain't trying to be your friend.
All right, so you want to jump in now? You want me to give it some? Go ahead, Gunter man.
Well, I do a whole sharing on this. Even though I couldn't hear the opening line, I'm catching the vibe of the video was there, you're in a situation where the guy only wants to be your friend and you just keep hovering. Remember, we talked about that hovering, like that vulture. If you hovering like a vulture, most likely that which you're trying to hover over is already dead. It's already dead. So let it go. Let it go. Also, so often when we get into these relationships and we see these red flags and we keep moving forward, we know that, right? These red flags need to be turned into what? Checkered flags. They need to stop. It's not worth going. But we move forward and we get mad at the person for being themselves. We saw the red flags. We didn't decide to stop. We kept moving forward. And then we're looking at them like, maybe in time you'll get better. Maybe you'll change. Maybe the more he'll learn about me, he'll do things the way I like them. No, you got a red flag. I mean, the habit is this. If you catch something in a relationship, especially in the early stages, you should have a conversation about it. Red flags means let's talk about it. If you're just going to let stuff bypass you, or you're going to be in the habit of just still moving forward and hoping that it gets better, no, you're not improving your relationship skills. You have to take the time out to at least have the conversations, because if you keep moving forward and holding on to the little bits and pieces that you like about the person, like she said, you're holding him hostage. When instead of you could just let him go, you're holding him or her hostage when you could just let him go. Don't do that, because that is selfish. You become the bad one in a relationship, even though you'll keep telling your friends that it's all the negative things that he's not doing.
Yeah, I thought it made me chuckle a little bit, because when she said he ain't trying to be your friend, she's not wrong. If you know the dude is feeling you and you're like, oh, he just my friend, we just kind of chilling and hanging out. Nah, man. I put it to you like this. And John always tries to bite me on the statistics about, like, I don't know the statistics on that. I don't have the statistics on this, but I haven't really seen too many men approach you and get the number and be like, hey, I want to be your friend. Let's be friends and see what happens.
I know what the statistic is on that, 100%.
It may exist, but once you know that's the mindset, and you just hope, you like, well, when I get ready, he gonna be there. Yeah, that's what she's talking about. You got any commentary on that, John?
Yeah, I got plenty. Y'all not gonna jump in and then be like, all right, we said we have to say we out.
Oh, you going first next.
There's only 3 of us, man. So let's get it in, man. No, I think that's 100% correct. Like, men, we don't create friendships that way. We don't create friendships by being like, hey, can I get your number and call you sometime? That ain't how we connect. You know what I'm saying? That ain't that is not the genesis of a good male friendship. So when they come up to you like that, they not trying to be your friend. They want to be friendly. I said we. We want to be friendly, but we're not saying, oh my God, I just looked and I saw you across the room and I said, maybe we could be friends. Not that ain't happening. It's not happening.
It doesn't.
But understand, the friend zone is not a non-voluntary place. A man does not stay in the friend zone because he can't get out. They choose to stay. A man, a woman, whoever. You know, I've been in the friend zone. I do a little reverse engineering and realize I saw value. I thought I could, you know, hang in there, whatever. But, you know, the friend zone isn't, you know, like some place she could just put you there and you can't get out. It's a proposition. If she say, I just want to be friends, you can say, damn that, I'm not trying to be your friend. I'm out. Like, I've done it too many times for me to say you can't do it. Like, I've had women say, well, let's just be friends. I'm like, hey, that ain't what I'm on, but, you know, have a good life. So, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna read a couple comments here because I did see one I wanted to. TK Chronicles of a Black Sheep podcast says my best friend is a guy, no slick motives. So here's the thing, right? Nobody said it's impossible for you to have a male friend. You're on the church choir and he's singing bass and you singing soprano. Yeah, y'all got exchange numbers. It's cool. You in school, y'all in the same class. Yeah, but a guy that approaches you with the intent to holler and you say, well, he just wants to be my friend. No, he does not. That I'm telling you, as sure as rain is wet, we don't do that.
Now that's a good joke.
Fire is hot. There you go. Men don't approach you to be your friend. There you go.
So you know, it's a lot of us that have friends of the opposite sex by circumstance or whatever it is, but that approach don't just happen because we looking for a Scrabble partner. I'm just letting you know right now.
I like what Erica said. If they're waiting around for more than friendship, can you really trust it as a true friendship? Well, if you got somebody in your life that entered that way, then let me not say you, I'm not pointing a finger at anybody, but we probably need to vet our friendship making apparatus if we are turning people who have made a romantic overtone to us. If we're trying to make them friends, then we need to kind of do a little bit of checking out our own friendship making apparatus, if that's the case.
Yep, exactly. I agree. I know it's hard to hear, but it's a real thing. I don't think any of us on here 18. I ain't seen it in my whole life where a dude made that approach, got the number, and was like, yeah, I think you'll be a fantastic friend. Give me that number, put it in my phone.
So let's toss it back to the ladies in the comments. What do you, if you make the move, are you just trying to be a friend with the brother? You tell us.
Come on now. You know, they going to double down on whatever they want their opinion to be. They not going to come in here. They going to double down on what they want it to be, man.
Nah, come on now. We have some.
They're going to say, I saw him and I said he'd make a good friend. We've got a lot in common, man. You know?
Nah.
So let me make sure I got the comments here. Love Tucker says Scrabble's her favorite game. So Lisa Russell says, no, I'm trying to go beyond Scrabble. That's all I'm saying. Like, keep it real. That's the whole thing, right? At this stage in the game, in our life experience, we know that stating your intentions is way more powerful than trying to figure out what the hell it is. If you're not I'm gonna tell you, back when I was dating, they would be like, oh, you know, I think we can be good friends. I'm like, that's not what I'm not here for that. I said, that could be a way station along the way, but we not stopping there. Cause we don't do that. I'm gonna say it again. We don't do that. We can stay there for a little while, but that ain't no, I don't see your friendship across the room. Anyway, we're gonna keep it moving. Let's see. All right, here we go. Here's the next clip.
I think if somebody got a social media account and you don't never see their significant other on it, that is suspect to me. It's either a sign that A, they don't like the person, or B, they're ashamed of the person. I'm gonna add a C. Or C, they're trying to come off like they don't have anybody because they're trying to keep their options open.
So go ahead, Gunther, man. I see you squirming.
No. It wouldn't come in clear, so I didn't hear. I missed a lot of it. So you'll have to, maybe one of you guys answer it and I'll know what you guys are talking about.
So basically what he was saying was, if you have a significant other and you've never posted them on social media, there's a reason behind that. But so that's the gist of it. He gave a couple of cases, like, you know, maybe you don't post them because you hiding something, or, you know, it's these, whatever these reasons. So I think I've heard this talked about a lot. Some people don't do it because they don't want people in their business. And, you know, people put their relationships on social media really, really early. And then 2 weeks later, it's gone. And then you posting another person. Some people do that too. I don't know. I feel kind of two ways. I'm going to go ahead and yield the mic to John, because I feel a couple of ways about this. I don't have that problem, by the way. Shout out to Alicia Dub Jones, but some people do that.
Oh, so you just go and get a whole running start and then say, I'm gonna pass it to John. That's what we do.
Yeah, because I want to make sure that we share the love. I'm gonna save my soliloquy for later.
Well, I think I think it's nuanced, just like anything else, man. You know, everybody, man, again, and I probably said it several times on here, but I think everybody wants to be able to say that they said that one definitive thing. Yeah. And there's always a situation. Like, I was reading about how Method Man been married over 25 years and he never posts his wife because he don't want people messing with her or whatever. Lil Duval is another one that don't never post his significant other, you know. But, you know, I know a lot of people. I mean, if you look through any of my social, you'll never see any of my relationships on there. And that's more so because I haven't been in a lot for a while. but I mean, it just depends on the situation. You know, if I'm with somebody and they're like, hey, you know, I don't even want to be posting this until, you know, it's rings involved and we know we about to get married. And I'd be like, bet, you know, but if they like, hey, man, I want you to post me or whatever, you know, I'd be willing to take the risk to see what it is, because, I mean, social media pressure can get in there and mess stuff up. It really can. We don't need to act like social media pressure, people stalking, people doing all kind of stuff. We don't need to be out here acting naive like that's not real. You know, that is really real. So, I mean, I think it's each their own. If they're not showing their significant other, you know, that could be one thing. Now, depending on what kind of content. Now, if they positive, you know, if it's like Gunna Man, a lot of good quality stuff, then like, yeah, that's a choice he made. But if they're out here thirst trapping and they draws all the time or whatever, then you'd be like, but it's still, I mean, who am I to say?
Yeah. Let me do a couple comments real quick, because they've been scrolling here. I think I saw Kelly say something about, her question is what would be what is significant. I would say, you know, it's something long term, like you done gave it some titles and y'all past going with the flow, and y'all been together for a while, you know, 6 months, a year, whatever it is, and y'all are really like rocking with each other. That's what they mean by, I think, significant other, versus, you know, the dude you met at the bar and it's 2 weeks. Like, we not doing that. Erica said something funny. She said, if it's a new relationship, I keep it private until it's official. She only posting at the 5-year wedding anniversary. Yeah, it's a difference between, I think, like posting and like excessive, like just going crazy, like every 2 seconds. Sometimes, you know, I don't know. That's just my thing. Like, I feel I don't want to be more invested in your relationship than y'all are. Like, y'all, like every move. I think that I don't know. That's my thing. I think Tashura said something about she's posting a hand or a foot, but that's it. And we've seen those posts where you at the dinner table and you know there's somebody else there.
Hey, I mean, somebody's post. We ain't even together, but my arm is in their post.
Right.
So it's strategic out in these social media streets.
Yeah, Queen Cole says, I won't post them 24/7. People get too invested in other people's relationships. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, when you let, because you always see people that, and this is where it kind of to me gets a little dysfunctional, is when people go really hard and it's like 3 weeks in and they showing, oh, this is my new boo, we for life, and then like 2 months later, they fighting on social media, like everything is on there. And I'm like, y'all gotta stop. I had to tell a couple people, I'm like, y'all need to stop doing that, man. Cause y'all know y'all gonna make up. But now everybody's seen all of the stuff that y'all go. It's whoever, if any of y'all on here is doing that, please stop. Because we don't want to see it. Kelly says if a woman is consistently happy in her relationship, likely moving towards long-term commitment or marriage, she would share him on the gram. Yeah. Yeah, we talked. Me and Kelly must be thinking the same thing at the same time. But she's talking about if you've posted all the time in the previous relationship that went south, I think you're likely to be more conservative next time. Yeah. So, yeah, this is something that's maybe a sometimes an unspoken topic where, you know, if you've been in a relationship for 3 years and nobody knows it, to each their own, like John said. But the social media is this gift and this curse, right? It's like we on it, but do you want to share everything? But then if you don't share your stuff, then then you may feel like you're not relevant. It's like some people, that's how they. For me, it's a battle every day because I'm like, I ain't sharing that. Not about the significant other, but just life in general. I'm just like, come on, man. I know I got this bottle of water. I'm not gonna be like, I can't. Like, you don't need to know I'm drinking this. But anyway,
let me add a little something to it.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, Erica, you read Erica. Let Erica.
Yeah, let me read Erica real quick, and then you can follow behind
good.
that. Dope Discussions Live. Erica says, my ex-husband was posting me and still cheating. So obviously nobody cares if you're social media official. I don't use that as a gauge for the validity of my relationship. Right. So that's the key. Real quick. Using that to say that your relationship is valid. Go ahead, Gunter Man.
Well, yeah, she kind of hit the curve because, me growing up in the entertainment world, you'll have people, how John said, to the extreme where we're not sharing this part of our life with the world, because of tax to come and all these other things. But for myself, I enjoy showing my love. I do. I love having pictures as much as I travel too. I love to be able to show a picture of my sweetie pie, my sweetie. My mindset is to incorporate it into my social media, but it has to be to her level of liking. And that's where I think the important part is when it comes to myself. I have to make sure that she's okay because she's like, I met people before and they're like, you're real public with your stuff. I don't know if I'll be able to hang like you hang. I says, but understand when I got into the posting side of things is that my mindset was always to tell and to teach people that there are more ways of living life. There's more happiness out there than what you're living in your small circle. So I constantly post about those things back then when social media was just starting out to let people know there's other ways of seeing things. There's other ways you can volunteer because you see my posts. I'm volunteering here, I'm volunteering there, and I'm also traveling. So my mindset is to let people know that there's a buzz going on out there that you can get involved. But then, hey, if you're doing something amazing, whoa, why not post it? But that's just me. In regard to relationships, I really got to run it by the woman. I have to see what her comfort zone is. But for me, I love showing pictures of me and my girl. That's just me.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
But you did say a good point. John did talk about how social media can make you change your mind if you're insecure about your relationship and somebody drops a couple of negative comments or they hit you on the private and say negative things about the way she look. And, that was a good point. That's a really good point. Because if you're in this public eye and now all of a sudden you swayed by a bunch of negative comments, so why you stop loving her because of what some other people thought?
Yeah.
Speaking of being swayed by negative comments, man, I challenge everybody on here to post something good that happened because boy, they going bad, sex offenders in trucks. And my man, this thing going bad in the comment section. So I'm gonna challenge y'all to post something good that happened this week.
Go ahead and do that. And also, while you're doing that, if you have anything that you want to ask us, put it in the comments while we're here tonight.
Yep.
That floor is open for you guys tonight because this is just a trending topic week. So if you got a question you want to ask the fellas, we game. So this next one here, I'm not sure about the audio, but I'll speak to it if you can't hear it. So stand by.
When I go on dates and they ask me what I'm looking for, my husband. I'm looking for my husband. I'm looking for somebody to crack these eggs and be the father of my children, my life partner, and my best friend. I'm not going with nobody's flow, and I'm not trying to see where things go. I need you to date with a purpose.
You want to jump on that, Gunner Man?
Yeah, I agree. If your mindset is to be in a relationship, be intentional. It's power in being intentional. You know, it also gets you to speak up about the things that are right or wrong for you, not to the other person, but at least to yourself to say, hey, is this something I'm willing to deal with? Something I'm not willing to deal with. Being intentional, I don't know, it kind of taps into all the things that you really want to see in your relationship. And it should motivate your mouth to speak about the things that kind of rub you wrong, even in the early stages. See, part of the problems that we run into when it comes to relationship is that we become a villain to ourselves because we allow certain things that are not our truth to take place. We're not willing to speak up about it. You know, we often think about either the other person did something wrong. Sometimes it's you doing something wrong to yourself by not saying, hey, that doesn't speak to my core needs. That doesn't work for me. That's not a mannerism that will be appealing to me to move forward. And if that's who you are, you can let me know from now, and then I could just gladly bow out. You know, but it's hard at times when you find yourself attracted to someone. You know, it's kind of hard. You're like, oh, and then when you meet the little bits and pieces that are not right, you're like, damn it, can I just stay a little bit longer? Maybe nope, it won't. It won't get better. It just won't get better. But you should at least have a discussion with them. That's it. That's the key thing. But intentional dating, yes. I'm looking for a wife. I'm looking for a wife because people will ask me like, Ricky, Gunter Man, hey, why are you still single? Like, why are you still single? I hear how you talk. I see what you're doing and all. Why are you still single? Because I don't believe in dating someone just for the heck of it.
Yeah.
Just for the heck of it.
You're supposed to say because I was waiting on you.
But then I don't know her well enough, and she ain't right for me. I gotta duck out on me. After using those smooth words, I gotta do that little duck on you. But yeah, I don't know. I don't believe in stealing. Like if I'm wasting time, if I'm stealing from someone else, I can't expect God to bring me my forever after. Okay, that's the truth. That's exactly how I believe. I can't just be, because you like me, I should date you. Because you like me, I should date you. No, I want to make sure we have something in common. And then also, more important than having something in common is, are we in alignment? Are we in alignment? Can we really move forward with this? What do you guys think?
Yeah. John, you got any commentary on her approach?
So we're just going to treat me like I ain't got nothing to say, man?
John came here to fight tonight.
Yeah, when you come in with Gunner Man, you be like, Gunner Man, what you got? Then when you come in, you got anything, John, just in case, because I'm ready to move on. Like,
you know what, sir?
No pressure. That's what we're trying to do. A no pressure atmosphere.
I'm supposed to go first 3 questions ago. What the hell happened?
I love this. We should do more shows like this where it's so casual, right? Because for like those who are just joining in for the first time, we pick a topic and we go in on a topic. Like we go in. But on trending topics, we can just talk. Ladies can share their thoughts, men can share their thoughts, and we just going at it. So please go. Let's do it.
No, I definitely agree with Gunner Man. I think intentionality is important. I just say it. Have fun when you're dating, though. I'm not saying be reckless, but like if I was on a date with somebody and I'm just meeting her for the first time and she came at me like that, I'm gonna be like, yeah, cut her off the list. You know what I mean? Like, so you're gonna meet people. Everyone may or may not be a potential suitor long term, but just because y'all don't necessarily vibe or whatever, or it doesn't vibe as well as you thought initially, that doesn't mean that somebody's a bad person or they were wasting your time. You know, you get these experiences, you get to see new perspectives, you get to meet somebody. You know, I was making jokes with Derek the other day. I said, "Yeah, man, it's this young lady, and you know, we talk, and I kind of feel like a mentor to her. We have zero chemistry in person, so I'm like, maybe that won't go far. Oh, this is a conversation we had a while back, but I was like, it's zero chemistry in person, so maybe it's not meant for that, and that doesn't make her a bad person. She's dope, but maybe it ain't for us. But yes, intentionality. Know what you're doing when you're dating. I'm not a fan of that. Yeah, let's just see where it goes. Because if I'm not looking at you like somebody who I really want to be with, and I'm feeling the feels, and I got to be careful about the feels because that ain't always necessarily a good. but I'm an intuitive person, so I probably lean too hard on the feels, but be intentional about it, but have fun while doing it too. Don't be out there like, these eggs need to be cracked now.
Yeah, she I think to your point, John, and to both of you, your points, there's a balance, right? Because you don't want to change the tone of the environment of the date by just going in like that. But those questions need to be answered at some point, though. Like, we got to get that in. And so a lot of times what I've seen is not even just the way that she delivered it. And I'm going to get back to the comments of what the good post that people are. We're going to go down a few of those because they did respond to John's call for positivity. I see a lot of women.
Everybody, just a few.
Just a few. That intensity that she had could be off-putting to some, especially if it's like on, right there on your face, it's the first date or whatever. The caveat to that is, like I said, these questions still need to be answered at some point and not, on date 10 or 12, because you need to kind of know what's going on. But what I find in a lot of women that I've talked to is even those questions alone, no matter when they happen, they feel like they may scare the guy away. And that's when I do a hard stop and I say, if he's afraid of a question about intentions, that's not your guy.
Amen.
Not in this age group that we in now, that like you don't know what you want now and you 50. It could happen. And if he don't know, he could be honest about that. It's time for you to figure out what you want to do with that. Some people like to play around, but at least you get the answers to those questions. The intentions matter.
And I'm devil's advocate right here because it does not hurt to do some exploratory actions on the first meetup, date, whatever it is. Like, listen, when you come out with your intentions, you giving people ammunition to tailor their approach, so I would say not come out and say blah, 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 this, that, the other. Kind of check them out, see what they're about. Like you telling them your intentions and you don't even know if this guy is interesting enough to get through a whole meal with, but yet you didn't gave him not the whole cheat code, but you didn't gave him a way to take his conversation. Sometimes people, if you give them an opportunity, they'll self-disqualify.
Yeah, I think Kelly had a question for John. Why not give her the feedback for her journey and future, John? Maybe let her know her words don't scare you, but in the event you all don't work out, she should know being that direct.
I think that was in reference to me saying the girl on the video was a little aggressive.
Yeah.
but absolutely, conversation rules the nation. So communication is key for sure.
Yeah. I like I said, there's a lot of women that I've talked to that will say, if I ask him those questions, then he'll run away. So I'm gonna hold that until such time later in the future where I feel comfortable asking him what, is he relationship minded? And I'm like, don't do that. Relationship minded by itself. Don't wait until you 3 months in. You're about to be in for a rude awakening.
You know, I guess, like I said, my mindset is like growing up in the entertainment world, we're just approached by so many different styles. It just, I don't know, just in kind of just, you accept the person for who they are, however they come at you at that particular moment. And then you know how to have the conversation to change the atmosphere, to change the vibe that she sends, because she's coming from a place of, this is real life for her. And you can't think that you're going to sway her or make her feel that her way was wrong, because she has reasons for being the way she is. She has absolute reasons why she is the way she is. So receive it and then have a conversation where it becomes somehow answering her questions, but also letting her know that it shouldn't be so rigid. It shouldn't be so rigid for you. But get to know me. You know, get to know me. If that's the first thing you do, you don't even know if you like me yet. You might have an interest in me, but you don't even like me yet.
Yeah. I do want to respond to Lisa Russell's comment when she said most men, though, would they really be upfront with their intentions? So I love this question because I answer it quite a bit. So here's the thing. Can you prevent someone from lying? No, you cannot. When you answer these questions, at whatever point in your getting to know this person, once you ask these qualifying questions, they can lie to each one of them. But these lies now become their word. Now you take their word and you match it up against their actions. So 9 times out of 10, they're not going to match. Because the lies are built to numb down your logic. If you keep your logic up and you pay attention to the behavior, it's not going to match up at some point. There's nobody that good to lie, and you're still in your logical brain that you can't see that it doesn't match. That's not how I did a whole show last week about this. A player has to have you emotionally numb. They have to keep the emotions up in order for them to play the tricks. So when you ask first of all, most people don't ask the qualifying questions. So let's throw that out the window. That's why you get played. You don't get to know. You don't ask, is he relationship minded? You don't ask all of these qualifying questions that you can get the lies or the truth to balance up against the actions. You just getting all the actions and you're like, oh my God, the feels. Like John said, it's the feels. It feel good. We'll worry about that later. No. If you serious about finding your person, you gotta do the math. And I guarantee you, listen to my words, it ain't gonna match. Your intuition is right. It's not going to match. And when it doesn't, that's when you leave, because it's going to be some deal breakers sprinkled in there. It's going to be some, oh, he said he was available, but he's not. The feels is going to get you hurt.
And that's the hard part right there. Even when it's feeling really good and going good, and it's just a few, man, we've got to love ourselves enough to walk away when it ain't lining up. And that's always the hard part. That's where that's that entrance door into finding yourself in a situation.
Yeah. So go ahead, Gunter Man.
No, I would say, like, when I look over my life and I see all the amazing successes that I've had, my failures always came in the places of relationships, because I would just completely get so caught up in the feelings or the emotional side of it and just bypass all these red flags that they're saying. They're coming at me like stop already. But no, I guess but these moments, or here's the thing. Say it started off just on an epic level and you're constantly trying to get back to that epic feeling. If that was epic, it has to be available to get back to there. No, a mind that is stretched can no longer return back to the form that it was in. Meaning that when you gather new information about that person, that old feeling, that epicness of not knowing and stuff can never be received. You can't get back to that. You could have new epicness, but that epicness with the new information you have about that person, especially if that person doesn't line up with you, it can never, ever, ever go back because you know too much. You know too much.
You know,
like Derek said, intuition already triggering. You can't go back to that.
You got to know, and you got to know what your end game is. You know what you want. You can't walk into a negotiation and say, I have to have $900,000. And then the person on the other end of the table say, well, what about 850? And then you go, okay, I'll take it. Because once you accept 850, then they can bring it down to 750. You got to know where your line is. And a lot of times we dating and we come into the dating saying, I want this $1 million relationship. And then we see about 450, 500,000. We'd be like, man, I ain't never had this much of it. I'm going to take this because I might get nothing. But
there it is.
There it is. $1 million relationship, you hold out till you get it. It don't mean that your walk away game got to be strong, because you can walk away from good stuff with strong walk away game, but you've got to know where your target is. And when you know where your target is, then that guides your journey. I'll put it like this. If I told Derek that I was in Springfield, Virginia, and I needed to get to him out in Waldorf, and I wasn't actually in Springfield, Virginia, I was in Springfield, Massachusetts, I don't care how exact his instructions were for me to get to Waldorf from Springfield, Virginia. I'm not in Springfield, Virginia. I'm somewhere else. So it's not going to get me where I'm trying to go. So sometimes we just got to face the brutal facts. Maybe we ain't where we think we are, but we need to know where we're trying to go. So we need to know where we're starting from.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I do want to mention this too. And it's a slight, a little bit of piggyback to even the show that I did about all of the predatory dating practices. Y'all got to stop worrying about what they're going to do. You cannot control that, but you can control what you deal with and won't deal with. And you also can control the types of boundaries and discernment that you have. Don't create a wall, create boundaries, so that when the possible tricks come, what you're not going to deal with stays the same. It's when you relax that's when you start seeing all of the stuff and you're like, damn, like everybody's a player. No, everybody's not a player. You just keep letting them in.
Yep.
So
it's who you
in the
choose to
infamous
entertain.
words of Derek Jones, that's a you problem.
Yep.
So stop complaining about the players and worry about making sure that you won't settle. Well, I won't use the word settle because I hate the way y'all use that word sometimes. So that y'all won't allow something in your personal space, in your home, in your child's life, in your heart that you didn't even vet to even earn it. So I'm gonna get off my soapbox, standing up and speaking.
Yeah, then let me get up on mine now. For sure. The boundaries are the things that are going to make you feel really good when you stick with it and drop someone off and you find it in someone else. That finding it because you stuck to your boundaries and those other ones and had to bow out, even though they had elements that you were really grooving or really feeling, really loving, but it wasn't what you really needed, your core needs, and you stuck to your boundaries. When that person comes that matches that boundary, you're going to feel this whole entire lift. Trust me on this one, guys. I sit with clients all the time, sit with clients all week long, even this week, as crazy as this week is, because they want love, but they really want love from a place of their truth. A place where they really are loving themselves. And now to be able to operate from that place of loving yourself, that's where it becomes difficult. Like John said, it becomes difficult to be able to operate and stick to those rules because, I want 900,000, but that 850 will kind of do me right. No, you want that 900,000 because of all the stuff that you've been through. You want to be able to have an opportunity to get into a relationship where you can always be your real self. And you're always mindful of, is this my truth? Is this me loving me when I'm moving forward with this guy? Is it my truth? Because a lot of times relationships continue to fail and you wonder, why are they not getting better? It's not them. It's you. Why are you not getting better? Why are you not sticking to the things you know that's right for you? Stop hovering like a vulture over things that are dead, situations that are dead. Boundaries, when they're met, it'll make you feel beautiful, extra beautiful.
Yeah, I let me make sure I get a couple of comments in if I see it.
I know,
If
right?
there
Gunner
are.
Man got me feeling like I can go fly and be in a relationship tomorrow.
We got your back, brother. We support your efforts in advance.
Yeah, for sure.
Love Tucker says she still wants somebody to play Scrabble.
She's stuck.
So okay, so I'm going to speak to this next topic. I was gonna play another video, but I'm gonna put this one in front of it, but I don't have a video for it. I'm gonna speak to it. So and the caveat, the disclaimer before I say this is everybody's relationship has their own nuances, so it's not a judgment on how this person's relationship is. I just want you guys' initial reaction to this when I say it. So I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with who Tammy Roman is. She used to, well, she's been on a lot of reality shows, but the key here is that she's married to, I think she's like 50, maybe her early 50s, maybe. She married a younger guy who doesn't have any kids. She has a few kids or whatever that are older. And so what she told him was, I know that you probably want a kid and you don't have any. So what I'm going to offer you is we could take a break. We're married, but we could take a break, not get divorced for 1 to 2 years. You go find you a woman to have a kid with. Once you find her and have your kid, then we can come back. I'll help you raise the kid and do whatever. But you can have a break and go find out who this is. I'm not going to deal with nobody else because I'm your wife. And it's not an open pass for you to just go sleep with a bunch of women. You find that person to have that kid with, and then you come back and take a year to 2 years to go do that. Come back with the kid, and everything's gonna be cool. First reaction.
Hell to the nah. Hell to the nah. You know, when you move forward with me, and I'll just take it from you're accepting life the way it comes. You know, you make the decision if you want to have a kid, not to have a kid. If I'm into having more kids, I'm open to it. You know, like you gotta accept the rhythm of what it offers. But you venturing outside of marriage and me not to see it as adultery, whether I think it is okay or not, nah, man. I think if you want to have a kid and I wasn't up to having a kid, I'm bowing out. Let's bow out. You go do your own thing. I want someone that's with me, that's rolling with me, accepting life. Not exactly, because I'm forever growing. I'm always doing. I'm always taking on new things. We're expanding, and we're discovering those new possibilities which love offers. These new possibilities. So if I didn't want a kid, but I'm open. I'm just so open when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah, and also too, I think his response to her was, I'm your husband and I'm not going to do that, because if God says, you know, I'm not supposed to have a kid, but I'm supposed to be your husband and that's it, then I'm going to go ahead and roll with that. So any comments on that, John?
Really?
You better cut that out, Derek.
My bad, man. We tried.
I sent the video, so I got comments on it. So just to be clear, from a personal perspective, yeah, you know, that's not something that I would entertain. Like, you would know way before we got to marriage that I didn't want to have more kids. We would definitely have to know that. But what I will say is, if you listen to her talk about it, so yeah, it's Tammy Roman, and you listen to her talk about the situation, there just sounds like a level of relationship maturity, figuring out what works for them that is kind of exhibited there. And absolutely, I'm like everybody else. That's a hell no, but I think it's a good case study on understanding, maybe less serious than a situation of having a whole baby, but understanding preferences. And I think a lot of times we get caught up in preferences instead of values and foundational things. And so we're willing to give up on relationships because of a preference rather than does this actually meet a value. Like, as a matter of fact, for me personally, I'm at a point now when I see things that give me a visceral reaction, I recognize that it's time for me to learn something, because there is a value that is being challenged, and there is nothing wrong with challenging a value to see, how deep it's rooted and to see if it continues to work for you, because through time we'll realize that some values don't work. So I'm getting on a whole nother, let me get back to it. I just think that it showed a lot of relationship maturity for her. And again, like I said, I'm team hell no, but I just, under the construct of looking at it, his desire was to have a child. They even asked, why didn't you just, how about adopting? She's like, no, I know he wants a biological child and he's not going to get that from me, but I don't want to deny him that for his life, so, there's a level of maturity there that I certainly do applaud. And, that was the reason why I grabbed the video and tried to send it. Boo, that it didn't work. But
I tried to upload it, man. I'm sorry. I tried to. That was the only one that didn't work because I had to screen record it and do all that. But anyway, I tried. Yeah, it's a hell. It's a hell no. I think, at her age, I don't know how viable her eggs are or aren't. I just, where my mind goes. In his search, on his Prince Hakeem, he's looking, and there's a very high possibility that this woman that he chooses, there could be an emotional attachment as well. And then you get into a whole nother conversation if they're actually building a relationship together. And then in that sense, his level of maturity, I don't know how mature he could or could not be when he's out here looking for someone to mate with. He's going to have to build some kind of connectivity with her, unless he's just like, hey, you know what? I need to get somebody pregnant. I want you to be. I don't think that's the conversation. I think he's going to have to build some kind of rapport with her. And then you move into this gray area of how is that connection? And Tammy is not there to shepherd any of it. She's just like, go do you, come back later in a year or two. Let me know how it went. And I'm going to go ahead and work my career. My career is starting to pop off. So I'm going to be busy anyway. Let me know how that works out for you. And so
I knew that was going to be touchy. And again, the actual issue of having another baby was not the point that interested me about it. Because again, like I said, that's off the table. But I kind of knew that we present that out and the visceral reaction to the baby was going to overtake.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, but the reason why I even made the disclaimer before is, let's say that happened, right? And he did it. And they both were cool with it. That's it. I mean, it's their relationship. That's why I say we're not here to judge what people do. We may hate it, but if they literally went through with it and they both was signed off on it and they was both cool.
Yep.
If you like it, I love it. Have fun with that. And I'm gonna read a couple of. I'm not gonna read all the comments because Kelly she got continued at the end of them and everything. So
she put this comment in there 3-4 times, man. Same comment about 3-4 times. She was serious.
Oh, it's the same one. Okay. I was about to say. Let me see. She says, you can flex a maternal and fraternal muscle in other ways than traditional biological child relationship. She also says, get creative with that energy, but no, you're not impregnating another woman while being married to me. Let's figure out how to leave a legacy or expand our legacy in other ways. Yeah.
I could vibe with that.
Yeah. Tashir says that sounds like it would be a Sarah and Abraham situation, baby mama drama.
The handmaid Herod.
Yeah. And then Tashira also says he's gonna mess around and not come back like Sunshine in was it Harlem Nights? So I have
what's next?
yeah. I literally have one more left, and then we can wrap it up after that. This one's a little deep, but we're gonna listen to it and just react to it. So hold on one second.
Boys get lied to. Like, we get lied to so much, you know, because our moms raise us to be the man that she wants to date. You know, that's how our mom raises us. And then when we get out in the world, you know, the women who, or the girls at this time who we want to date, they don't respond to that energy, you know. So we have to develop this, exactly what it is toxic masculinity in order to satisfy natural urges of companionship and understanding and romance and passion and, you know, sex. The only route through that at that age is by being toxic.
John Singletary.
I appreciate you, my brother.
Anytime. The floor is yours.
You know, I'm here for the people. I'm the people's champ. Ooh, you know what? I disagree. I disagree. That part about, because my mom would pull that, you know, you got to be this kind of dude and that kind of guy for women to like you and all of that. But you got something coming, man? I
was gonna say, yeah. Can you restate the statement so I can track with it? Yeah. Gotcha. Where was he coming from so I could track with it and I could answer it?
Got you. So basically, he's saying that boys are lied to. Our moms raise us to. So he used what we call on Real Shop Talk. He used that real educated voice. He came out with he was talking like he was just so wise. You know, little boys get lied to. Our mamas tell us, you know, try to raise us to be the man of the house and what kind of man that she wants to date. And so I'm listening to that and I'm like, okay, in some cases I can see that. This is where he went all the way off the rails. He says, so then when we get out and we at the age that we're at, it's little girls. This is what he said. He said they don't respond to that energy that our moms raised us with. And so the only way that we could be successful in dating and with women is to develop toxic masculinity and toxic traits. And that's the only way that we can get what we desire out of relationships. So yeah, I disagree. You know, he started on shaky footing, in my opinion, because I do believe that could happen at times. But I think, you know, as a person, you evolve. Like, yeah, you know, man, even in my most successful dating times in my life, I've evolved from a bunch of that stuff. So I mean, you evolve. Like, it's called growing up, you know, like, duh. But when he got to the point and he said, you have to be toxic, I'm like, what? It fell all the way off the rails. And that's my opinion. I mean, again, he tried to be deep. And then to me, it just felt like what he was trying to do is sound really educated so that he could make an excuse for bad behavior. And what he was trying to eloquently excuse, he did 2 + 2, but he got 7. So it didn't add up, you know, so it didn't work. I don't believe that because you were raised this way or that way, or your mom said you should be this kind of man or whatever, that one makes you not attractive to women, and 2 makes you have to use toxic masculinity as a way in which to get what you want out of relationships. So I call a foul on the play.
Gotcha, man. Any thoughts?
I would let you share first so I can get a bigger scope.
So I'll tell you what's true about what he said. And I'm gonna piggyback off of Erica's comment. She said, so basically he's saying that women raise their sons to be soft. So I think in a weird, wacky, dysfunctional way, What he was saying was, and I'm not excusing what he's saying. I'm trying to be Rosetta Stone here. What he's saying is that some women, or a lot of women, will raise their sons to be, in Erica's terms, soft, or basically treat a woman the way that they would like for their man to be treated. When this young boy grows up, what John was saying was true about being toxic doesn't get you what you would want when you're out here dating. However, it will get you something, right? A toxic dude will get a lot of toxic stuff. So that's where this guy that was talking fails, when he says being toxic gets you what you would want out of a relationship. No, it'll get you something though. It'll get you in some folks' beds. We can't lie about that. Women always talking about toxic D, and this whole trope that's been going on since I've been born. Women like the bad boys and nice guys finish last and all of this stuff. There is some validity to these toxic dudes getting attention. However, it does not suit you to be that way if you are looking for something that is long lasting. So I'm gonna say it that way. Come for me if you want to. I'm for all the smoke. I'm just saying that I think that the way that he did it was a, like John said, it's a flag on the play, it's a foul. But I know for an absolute fact that we all can attest to that these toxic dudes will get something. It's just
toxicity is a lot more successful than we want to give it credit, because
absolutely.
We think toxic is just gonna be, man, sometimes that toxic be sweet as honey. Listen, no, because it's the nice guy myth, man. Women are intuitive, they can see BS. And a lot of times what nice guys do is they come up and they this nice guy, they whatever you want, so forth and so on. And what they don't realize, man, is that a lot of times a woman can just see, man, you can't maintain this pace. Like, this dude gonna be nice and then turn to a monster down the road. Like, this ain't a real pace, this ain't a real person. But a dude that kind of exposes that toxic early on has the appearance of being more authentic. So you kind of get, so like, you get some bad, but you say, okay, he a real person. But then you get that good, you say, okay, so all of this must be real. Whereas this other guy, I'm getting a whitewashed version of what he really is, and some monster is going to pop out. So sometimes, man, that toxic be sweet.
Yeah.
They will call the nice guy the representative.
Yeah.
Send the representative. But if dating is all about gathering data, you're going to ask those poignant questions. You're going to see him or her operate in different atmospheres. Like, how does he treat or speak to his mother? Or if he has kids, does he show up for them? How does he interact in public? How does he treat the waitress? These things will start to show cracks in the truth that resides within. The sad thing with the guys who believe in that toxic, the bad boy mindset, a lot of times they're in a ton of relationships where their core needs are never being met either. So they're always angry, because you can fake a particular thing or do a particular thing to get a particular thing. But if that particular thing doesn't match your core needs, that core need never being met makes you angry and keeps you upset at that other person. So that toxicity is not only coming from of what you thought culture said that you should be, but now it's coming from a real place of that woman, that person will never, ever be what I really need her to be. And that just makes you more angry, because you're not blaming yourself. It's bad enough you already developed these bad habits of culture and picked them up and thought that they should do it in a relationship. But what about you? What about your real, genuine things that you value, things that you will never get a woman to look at you like, damn, that man, that person, like, damn. But you barking orders, you submissive. I'm the man, you need to be this. And I don't know. I can understand a little bit of balance, the bad boy mixed with the good guy, because it's going to show through the truth. But women who prefer that bad boy, I say, all right, go ahead. You might go chasing after those jocks in high school, but you're gonna want to marry the geek, the L7 when you get older. You're gonna want to marry that L7 when you get older. You know, that's the truth of it. You know, I grew up a dancer, so I don't know what line I fell on because I was extremely, extremely smart, but I was also an entertainer. So I get a little combination of the both. So my mindset is that I'm just gonna come at you the way I am. This is just me. If you like me, like me. You don't, you don't. I think I got labeled more times than not the good guy, you know, the real good guy. So you'll either say, well, he's not bad enough, he's not bad enough, rough enough, he's not doing the toxic stuff. But damn, look how he succeeded in life. Why wouldn't you want to be near someone like this? Look how he speaks, and you find that there's no cracks. That there's no monster. Because remember, dating is about gathering data. Watch him, see what comes out. You know, you might want that. You might, John said it. You might have a preference, but if that preference don't serve you, why are you holding on to that preference? Why? What's the preference for? You want a particular thing, but it's not serving you. Why are you still holding on to that? Because it's what culture says that you should have? Or what you've been through in the past, so you want to make sure no. Pick things that serve you, that serve that core need. And it's only typically going to be about good 4 things that you're going to really hold on to. Like, these are my qualifiers. These are the things that I need my man or my woman to have.
Right. I'm going to read this, what Kelly just said, and then I want to comedically read this question that I think was directed at John. She said, I heard him say some moms raise their sons to be her man instead of attentive to a potential partner's needs. We heard that a little different, Derek. So here's my perspective, right? And everybody out here can say I'm wrong. It's cool. That's my perspective. When a woman tries to make that son be her man and be responsible for some things that normally would be relegated to an adult, she is building him into a situation where he would be catering to her, right? If he grows up as a little boy, dysfunctionally so, as a man who's catering to his mom, when he goes out into the world, he may exhibit those same traits to his potential girlfriend. However, when he's out in the world, he's going to see a lot of toxic men getting a lot of attention. He's going to think that that's the way to be. And then he may start to morph into that type of person because it looks cool. He may get a certain car. He may do all these other things that he thinks will attract women instead of just being himself. And that's where the toxic masculinity comes in that he used, because to him, that is the only way to success. And we know that that's not true. That was my take from it. I may be wrong, but that's what I got from it, because by definition, he would not have pivoted to toxic masculinity if he wasn't talking about the other behavior, which would be being a nicer person or catering to a person to have to turn into toxic. What's the opposite of that? That's the way I looked at it. So anyway, I think so I'm not even going. I'm a bypass that question because John already answered it in the comments. So I'm gonna let y'all have that. But yeah, that whole son husband thing, it's dysfunctional as hell, and it's toxic, and it's not fair to your kid. So anybody that's doing that, please stop. You the king, you the man in the house. You know, your daddy ain't here, so you can take over things, and he's 6. Stop doing that. Let him be a kid, please. So I'm going to give about maybe a minute. If anybody has any questions they want to ask now, or we're gonna start to wrap it up. Gentlemen, if you have any comments last comments you want to talk about this show or anything else, let it fly.
My mindset is always this: don't get trapped in your own thoughts and in your own way of thinking. Find your people, meaning that go out there and start rubbing shoulders with people that inspire you. that live in a particular way that somehow, some way it gets you to see life outside of your own private circle. Because as you're inspired, as you're motivated to level up, and this is for yourself, not to be something for someone else. It's you leveling up because you're actually chasing your dreams. Because oftentimes people don't realize that you're seeking happiness, but it's found inside of you. You going after self, things that help you grow inside is a form of happiness. You having the mindset that you want to make the world a better place, you'll find real happiness. Also, close friends. And that's the part where we tend to mess up. Look at your circle of friends and see who you're surrounded by. And are any of them living a lifestyle that you would like for yourself? You want to hold fast and live it also. Because if they're not, that means you're the greatest one in the group. And you can't rise. You need new information, new inspiration, new words being used for you to level up, for you to keep leveling up. So you have to find your people. You could have your friends that you grew up with. You could have your friends in your community. You could have friends that have been your ride and die, but they may not be the people that are going to allow you to level up. In life, you need to keep rising. You need to keep rising because you only know what you know. And what you know isn't everything there is to know. There is way more information out in the world today that exists that you don't even know exist. So tap into those people who are living your dream. Find out for them, how did they go about doing it? What inspires them? And glean from it. Glean from it. When people come into your life, you're going to learn two things: what to do or what not to do. What to do or what not to do. So figure it out by rubbing elbows with people, new people. Find out what they're about. Ask questions. See what they're about, and then glean from it. See what you can adapt and make your own, or to study. We're in the age of information. This is an excuse-free environment where you could pick a topic, any topic, and you could Google it or YouTube it, and there's answers out there. Now, say if you don't have access to a lot of people, why don't you go after a life coach or a relationship or a therapist? Go talk to someone about the stuff that's inside your head, because trust me with this one. Just simply putting your thoughts into sentences, saying them out loud so someone else can understand, is actually leveling up. It's a way of leveling up. Just saying them out loud so you could hear yourself say it out loud to someone else, the things that you feel, the things that you're going through. And in turn, when you dare to open up your mouth and speak your truth or talk about the things that concern you, answers will absolutely come. The universe, or I say God, will utilize the whole entire universe, will conspire to bring about the deep desires of your heart. It's available.
Yeah. John, any last comments? If not, I'm gonna read a couple of the comments and then we can wrap it up.
Man, why you ain't let that brother go last? Well, that was a show closer right there. Now I will say thank you for that. I will say, as we looked at the topics that we looked at, change your battery in your in your fire alarm during the time change every year. That's genius, man. Do that. That's genius. The young lady talked about dating with intention. Make dating a part of your entire life. And I say that to say this: live with intention. Live your entire life with intention. And when we're talking about, who we're going to date, who we're going to be with, man, don't be so caught up in the romantic stuff. It's important. But when you're talking about living your life with somebody, this is the person that's going to be by your side when you bury parents, when through sickness, when, job cuts and just all kinds of things that you couldn't even imagine, getting audited by the IRS. This is that person that's going to be by you during all of that, not just the person that makes your heart flutter when you see him or her walk across the room, or mind-blowing sex, or whatever the other stuff we put on it. But this is the person that really will hold you down through what we like to say, the vicissitudes of life. So, be intentional about that. And then my man, when he is talking about, his mom raised him a certain way and he became toxic. And again, like I said, that's where it fell off of the wheels for me. is that he used it as an excuse to be toxic. We've said it before, but choose healing, choose opportunities to get better. I was watching a show called Gentified, and man, it's a beautiful closing. Man, the dad, his sons were complaining about how he raised them and how hard he was on them. And he talked about when he left Mexico and his dad was standing there, and he said, his dad was on the horse. This would be the last time he'd ever see his dad alive. And he said, he felt pride leaving there because even though that they bumped heads, he knew that his dad loved him the best way he knew how. And, that was part of my journey. My mom, didn't do everything perfect, but at the end of the day, man, she loved me the best way that she knew how. She raised me the best way that she knew how. And guess what? It's my turn now to live my life the best way. I've got different tools. I've got different opportunities. Like my mom literally grew up during the time when, colored only bathrooms. So she did it the best way that she knew how. And so let go of excuses. And when we talk about living your life, listen to the way you talk to yourself. Listen to the way that you describe yourself, the words that you use. Stop wishing and hoping all the time and just start doing. Say, I will, not I wish and I hope. And talk nicer to yourself. Whenever you can list off all the bad things going on, make a practice of starting to list off some of the good stuff that you do, because your life is going to go the direction in which you speak and in the direction in which you see. So if all you see is negative, that is the direction your life will go. So, man, this is your fault, Gunner, man. You got me on this tangent, but hey, man.
Yo, that was amazing, bro.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Now I gotta go. I can just say, thank you guys. God bless and good night. I don't know.
Nah.
I do want to read a couple comments we can get out here. Kelly said sometimes it's the mom catering to her man, her son, aka her son, and now he has no skills to fend or navigate romancing a woman for himself. I agree. And here's the thing. Because he doesn't have those skills, he's going to look to the world to try to figure it out. And that's where the toxic part comes in. There's not a man, at least in the United States, that doesn't know when you're growing up that the dude with the flashy cars going to have a bunch of girls around him. The dude with the wad of money going to have the dude that's acting like a jack, whatever. He's going to be the guy for some reason that they flock to. And then you're going to say, as a man who wants to be around women, should I be like him? You got a decision to make. And some people don't have the tools to discern, this may not be the good path for me, because especially if you start to see some successes for what you deem as success, why change? And that's the unfortunately, that's the unfortunate model that we see when we grow up. And I don't even think that that's changed since we saw when we were young. These kids that are out here now, the flashy, the shiny ball thing, it's folks out here that's still older than us. They're still chasing after a shiny ball. So the thing is to John's point, we should aspire to have better tools and have different outcomes. And hopefully there's a point where even if you do try to model after that toxic person, that you say, you know what, this is getting me something, but it's not getting me what I want. Right. And when you come to that realization, then you can say, I need to stop doing this. Yeah. So I'm gonna leave that there. Thank you everybody for coming out. The website, realshoptalk.net, all of our profiles are there. So if you need to contact any of us or DM or anything, all the information's there. And then we can go around.
Following us on Instagram, man, we get it popping. I don't know who that was on there.
Yeah, Instagram. Make sure you follow the Instagram. It's a lot of hilarious posts being posted. You'll laugh. You'll get some information. There's a lot of good stuff on all of our social medias. Make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube page if you haven't. Keep coming back. Next week, show is going to be about the Black man's relationship to anger. So we're going to talk about anger and what that looks like. And we're going to give you guys our real stories and just let you see what it really looks like, because it may not be like we see what it looks like at the end, but we don't necessarily talk about how we got there and what that looks like under the hood of that. I always like to go under the hood, because once you understand the why, even if the outcome is horrible, understanding the why gives you some context, and maybe it may help you in the future to be able to notice something or understand someone that you're probably with right now. Understand them a little better. It may not be as black and white as you think. It may come from a place that may started at 5 years old. So we're gonna talk about that. So make sure you come back next week. That's gonna be an amazing show. Just come back anyway. It don't matter what the title is. Just keep coming back. Bring a friend. Bring 5. Everybody have I don't know what you celebrate, but whatever you do on Thursday, have a happy that. so eat some food, do whatever it is. Y'all
Thank
know
you guys.
in the era now where you're going to offend somebody. So that day on Thursday, have fun on that day. Spend some time with your family. Think about what you're thankful for and all that good stuff. So Turkey Day. We'll call it Turkey Day. Have a happy Turkey Day. And don't make the dry turkey. Go get it from somewhere if you have to. So we're gonna get out of here. So anybody want to plug anything that's going on this week or that? I don't know.
Nah, Gun to Man show is off this week due to that Thursday day.
Yeah, the Relationship Gumbo podcast is not gonna happen this week. That's a milestone for me.
That's a milestone right there.
I've been going 2 years every Wednesday, and I have not stopped. This is the first time that I'm actually not going to be on. Everybody's saying I need to do it, so I'm going to do it. It's hard for me, but I'm going to go ahead and get it in. So I'm going to take a break this week, and I'll be back next week with the show. Oh, yeah, the show about multi-dating. That'll be December 1st. Multiple dating. Do you have a roster or a rotation? And what's the difference? We're going to talk about that on the actual show. So, yeah, we're going to get it in. So, y'all, Tashira says she having McDonald's on Thursday. So, we're going to get out of here, guys. Y'all have an amazing night. We will see you next week, same time, same place. Make sure you go to realshoptalk.net and follow us everywhere. Y'all have a good night. Thank you guys for coming. Come back, bring 5 friends next week, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great night.